Hello, and welcome to our latest CapRight podcast. Today we're going to talk about the net leased retail REIT sector. And with me today is Julia Tykus, a senior associate and one of the co-authors of our net lease retail REIT update. Welcome, Julia.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. You mentioned the current headwinds of high interest rates as a headline in the report. And you say it's a challenge both for the REITs themselves and for the retailers they're investing in. But you also say there's the positive retail performances across the board have returned the sector to pre-GFC strength. Well, that's quite a turnaround given the online shopping environment and, of course, the COVID hiccup. To what extent, then, do you feel this turnaround is enough to compensate for the prolonged high interest rate environment?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. You bring up one of the main headlines surrounding retail at the moment. Even pre-pandemic, it was pretty doom and gloom for retail. And as you mentioned, the COVID hiccup just added more to that. But we're seeing the dust settle now. We've had several years of pretty minimal retail construction, and we've seen retailers kind of figure out how to shift in the face of e-commerce.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that despite the current cycle of expensive debt, uh, net leased retail REITs are finding lots of ways to create opportunity. Can you comment on that?
Yep, definitely. We've seen kind of some themes across, 2024 outlook for many of these REITs of not leaning on the capital markets to fund their external growth. So whether that'll be using free cash flow, any dispositions they'll have, or previously raised capital, they're also getting a little more creative, starting to lean on relationships they have with tenants looking to expand. Some of these corporate tenants are looking to expand, but the current bank and credit markets, it's rough for them too. So through these sale leaseback deals, these REITs are able to offer pretty attractive financing so it's kind of a win for both parties there.
Yes, good. So both sides are on a growth journey together, it sounds like. And you report, again, positively, the wide range in revenue growth of 8.56 to 32.58%. This must raise the expectation bar for the sector. And is this revenue growth likely to be sustained for the foreseeable future?
Another good question. I would say part of that does depend on the Fed, as we kind of hear across the board today. But I do think it's pretty reflective of the acquisition environment over the past 12 to 18 months, considering this revenue is both same store rental growth and acquisitions. But given the creative ways they're looking at expanding and some of the rent growth they'll be able to capture, that's kind of happened across the country over the past couple of years, it does look like they're going to be able to perform pretty well in the coming years.
Yeah. Well, good. We'll see how it plays out and whether it conforms to our predictions. But thanks for being with us today to share your views, Julia.
Thanks for having me, Steve.